So some of you may have heard the news already. This is gut-wrenching. It is indeed. Brittney Griner loses appeal in the Russian court. I'm sure none of us are really surprised by this. We were hoping beyond hope and praying and lifting up, and her attorneys were doing the work. Because as we know, faith without works is dead. But to have so many people around the world rooting for Brittney and her family, and she loses her appeal in the Russian court. So Brittney Griner is going to return to the US anytime soon. Is almost certainly will have to happen via a prisoner exchange. We know that the United States and Russia were and probably still are in discussions about that. The jailed American basketball star exhausted the last of her legal options on Tuesday when her last gasp appeal predictably went nowhere. And that is coming from Yahoo News. Our next, a Moscow regional court upheld Griner's August conviction on charges of drug possession and drug smuggling with criminal intent. The court rejected arguments from Griner's defense attorney that her 9-year prison sentence was excessive and unjustified under Russian law. It was excessive. It is unjustified, really. And she was not smuggling. It was cannabis oil for the love of God. But they didn't care. At the end of Tuesday's hearing, Griner spoke directly to the court, calling it, quote, traumatic to be away from her family. Griner begged the court to take into account what went overlooked during her first court date and to reassess her sentence. Obviously, they did not do those things. Within hours, though, of the conclusion of Griner's appeal hearing, White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan slammed it as a sham judicial proceeding. Sullivan said that the Biden administration has continued to engage with Russia through every available channel and make every effort to bring home Brittney, as well as to support and advocate for other Americans detained in Russia, including fellow wrongful detainee Paul Whelan. Yeah, we got to do that. And I want to see the Biden administration continue to push. And also former New Mexico Governor Richardson is trying to do the best that he can with an organization that he's working with to try to help get Brittney and Paul home. Mayor?
Brittney is a product of, I mean, this is geopolitical. She's a political prisoner. People may say, well, she was not a politician. It has everything to do with American and Russia's relationships and nothing to do with this person, except for Putin's disdain for people who fall into the LGBTQI community, which just makes it even more disgusting that this sister is in jail. And you're absolutely right. We are BG, and we need to make sure that she's not forgotten, because what will happen is she will sit over there and become a bigger pawn for Russia to use whenever they want to, or ready to play chess with America and other countries. The idea that even early on in this conversation about sending her home for a prisoner swap, they asked for people in German prison, is that's Russia letting America know that they're trying to levy up they're waiting for American pressure to get so high that they can ask for unbelievable things for this sister's life. And it's absolutely disgusting as she finds herself in prison in Russia, in the height of what should be her career. And I think it's absolutely disgusting that she's fallen from headlines because America's media move on so fast, especially when it's Black lives.
We do move on too fast. And her sexual orientation, Mayor, I'm glad that you brought that up. That is, in fact, a variable. The fact that she's a Black woman, we need to put that out there. Also, that players of the WNBA do not make anywhere near what their male counterparts make. So there is an economic factor to this, because probably if she was making much more money, she would not have went over to Russia to play in the first place. So there are so many issues that have to be sorted out here. Number one, continuing to fight. So I don't want us to get weary and well doing. I want us to continue to keep this family lifted. Continue to use your social media, and let's continue to fight and push. And yet, while we are at home here, we got some work to do with marijuana possession as well. Yeah, we do. We need to take it off of Schedule 1. It should not be on Schedule 1 with heroin. It should not. And although the president has made some strides, some moves, we need to keep on moving Let's decriminalize and legalize marijuana in the United States of America. And let's not forget the economic component to this as well, that the Black community and brown communities who have suffered disproportionately at the hands of the war on drugs, which President Biden knows a lot about, should be the ones to reap the benefits on the economic side of this equation. Oh yeah, we're gonna keep coming back to this over and over and over and over again. To the Griner family, we want you to know here at TYT and on Unbossed in particular, we are lifting you up. We are going to continue to draw attention to this story. You deserve so much better than what you are getting right now.